G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we've got for you a brand new game from the public update preview. It's a couple weeks out before we actually get to have it in our hot little hands, but I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how the siege changes are received by the larger community and whether it actually solves the problem that siege presented, because it was definitely a bit of an issue. But let's get into it and introduce our players for today. Spawning in the south of the map in the color red, playing as the English, it's Myriad. And in the north of the map in the color blue, playing as the Order of the Dragon, it's Dennis Kia. We're probably just going to be calling Dennis, because he's a bit of a menace, this guy. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever casted Dennis before, but he's a pretty good player. I looked him up, I checked out Myriad as well. Myriad, for anybody you're unfamiliar with him, 2K rated player, very, very high rated, so that's like Conqueror 4, or Conqueror 3 plus. Dennis, about 1900, so right underneath him with regard to the skill rating. Now, this game is from Killer Pigeon's event that he hosted here over on the public update preview. So I'll leave a link in the description where you can go check out a couple more games over on his channel because he's got plenty of content over there. Yeah, it's some good stuff. I'm sure you're going to love it. Now, let's talk a little bit about what we've got here today. So we've got two civilizations, one that I'm intimately familiar with, the English. Of course, you guys know I love the English. And the other thing that I love about the English is their ability to be defensive and booming. And on a map like this, which is one that I haven't really played in a long time, Hill and Dale, it is just inviting you. It is asking you politely, please, boom, please, make a second town center, make a third town center. I don't even mind, because it just allows you to stay in this base for so damn long, and it's so easy to wall off, especially when you've got this wood line towards the front, the same way that Myriad has got here. The only issue is, when it comes to gold, you've only got 4,000 gold inside the base. Other than that, you've got absolutely nothing, which means you need to get out onto the map. You need to start thinking about getting out and looking at these golds. And realistically, you can't let your opponent take the entirety of the map because there's sacred sites, there's relics, there's a lot of food out there for them as well. So it's not as potent as it used to be. I remember back in the day when you used to have the 4K as well as an 8K gold in your base. I think the 8K gold used to be the main gold. They were the good days. No longer is that the case. Looks like Dennis now going to be clicking the age up. What option is he going to go? What route is he going to go? Of course, he could go for the Archon Chapel, or he could go for the mine work, but it looks like we're going to have an Archon coming down. Interesting position on the Archon. So he's going to take advantage of the berries as well as the wood line. So this is going to realistically, I think that there's two ways to look at this now. I think that when it comes to the Archon, it's a decent landmark, but I really kind of see it as an early game landmark. Compare that to the mine work, which I really feel is like the gift that keeps on giving throughout the game, depending on what way you want to play it. But to me, it's simple, because I guess the Archon gives you this bonus in the short term, which translates to a long-term bonus, right? Like, if we think about it, how do you want to be playing your Order of the Dragon, your Holy Roman Empire? Do you want to be playing it on 1 TC? Well, then it probably makes sense just to go into the Archon, because it's going to give you a lovely boost to your economy, and then you're going to be able to eventually make your way into the 4th age, look for that Swabia, and you'll be fine. Versus, do you want to play into a little bit more of an aggressive style, in which case then maybe going into the mine work might be a little bit of a better call. You've got upgrades that just last the entirety of the game that are so damn powerful. Of course, the double armors for your knights, the extra damage on your horsemen and spears. But in this matchup, you've got to ask that question. Is it going to be worth having that extra damage on your spears? Probably not. On your horsemen? Definitely, though, because longbows are going to be problematic here. But the age up does come through for Dennis on the north side of the map. Myriad about to age up as well on the south side. Both players within about 5 seconds of each other. Age up's coming through. And no one looking towards any form of stone yet, so no secondary town centers just yet. I think Myriad might be a little bit suspicious of early aggression. We do see that scout is starting to come out. He's going to look to confirm the landmark, and we'll see it is the Archon Chapel, and I'm sure breathes a sigh of relief. Though I guess there's a little part of him that says, well, hold on, I've still got to play for the Castle Age. Because the reality is, when it comes to the Order of the Dragon, even though they might be going Archon, and you could be thinking, oh, he might not go Castle Age, even though there's only 2 vills out here right now. There's going to be a Castle Age, and it's going to be shortly, and you want to do your best to deny those relics out. We see 2 longbows. He's already heading back to base. He's scouted out the stable from Dennis. And naturally, this means that there is going to be Gilded Horsemen on the way, and you don't want to be messing around with those. You do not want to be close to those bad boys when they come out. And already we see the Gilded Horseman with his 2.19 movement speed when charging, looking to try and take out the scout. He could turn around and just take out the sheep if he wanted to, but avoids doing it for the moment. Wheelbarrow going to be coming through as well for Dennis. Double broadaxe on the side of Myriad. And now slowly working down the scout. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a barracks thrown down at home. Indeed there is, with the first spearman on the way here for Myriad. Now for Myriad, one of the things I would love to see, considering that there has been a stable opening here, is the movement into walls. But it can be a little bit of a trap. They do take longer to construct now. They're not as efficient as they once used to be. Longbows tee off. A little bit of damage into the Gilded Horseman. And away from the front they go. Gilded Horseman falling back. Spears now going to start coming out as well. Looks like he's going to go quite heavy into this feudal age aggression. Only the 2 Vils on gold at the moment. But we do need to be cautious about that Gilded Horseman coming in around the backside and looking to do damage on this gold. I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis starts to move into archers. Let's take a look and see. There it is. The archery range has been dropped down. No archers in queue just yet. Now, if you do hear any sort of points where I'm not talking, just like you would have in those last couple of seconds, just to let you know, I'm still a little bit sick, so I'll have to clear my throat throughout this. And I don't want you guys to hear this. Poor little villager, did you see that? It looked like he kind of got stuck there. And then the scout was standing on the palisade wall, and he was just chilling. And he just got caught on the wrong side of history, unfortunately. So you hate to see it. Little bit of a mistake coming out there from Dennis. Does lose the first Gilded Villager. But now, looking to fall back underneath the town center. Keep in mind, he's got the Gilded Archers beginning to come out. A couple of Vils here still idle, obviously under a bit of pressure, especially considering that this is a tournament game. And he's going to be really looking to try and keep his head above water throughout this game. Slowly sieging down the mill. Right on board with Dennis, as he looks to do his best to defend here. Blacksmith towards the top side. Ranged armor. Undoubtedly going to be the first one that comes through. More units now looking to join the fray here. And have a look at this as the spearmen are getting picked off. Longbows are doing a decent job of hitting the Gilded Archer, but keep in mind they do have that extra little bit of range as well to help them up against the spears. I'd love to see from Dennis right now is these Gilded Horsemen moving around over towards this angle, or even a potential villager to come around here and look to get this wall off again, just to try and cut off any reinforcements, as well as deny that ability from Myriad. Vil, number 2, going to get picked off. He's got to be careful here. It could be number 3. Dennis going to be losing 3 villagers early on, and Myriad going to be feeling very good about himself for being able to pick those off. Now the upgrades really starting to come through. Scouts, as well as the spears, drawing the aggro. Not really drawing the aggro, but doing a little bit of a chase there. And I definitely feel like Dennis could look to commit here a little bit more if he wanted to. Does make the right decision. Looks to commit here. Archer will get that final shot off. And even the single Gilded Horseman, he's got the second one out here, should be able to clean this up without too much of an issue. The only problem I've got is that he's lost those 3 villagers. And it might not seem like a lot, but I can assure you over the course of the game, it is really going to add up. More reinforcements come in. And as I said, you know, if you had got this wall up with a sneaky little vill at the back, there is a really good chance that these reinforcements never are able to reconnect with this initial army. They go down completely. Reinforcements get peppered with all these arrows under the town center, and then you don't have this problem anymore with the enemy units. But Myriad's still looking to continue putting on the pressure in this feudal age. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing back towards the base at home. Looks like the blacksmith is coming up for him. A couple of farms underneath the town center, as well as the deer are slowly running out. And he does take out the mill ever so slowly. Emergency repairs does come in. Good to see. He didn't forget about it. And meanwhile, now, can you see one of the things that Myriad's doing, which is really smart, is whenever he brings troops across the map, he's not rallying them one at a time. He brings them together as a little squad. This is very intentional. If a single Gilded Horseman moves out onto the map, there's a really good chance it will just absolutely eat these longbows alive. But by keeping the spears, just even 2 spears close by, it means that opportunity is never going to arise. He's not even going to allow the chance for it to happen by doing this. He denies it completely. So a really smart move there by Myriad, always bringing in his troops 2 at a time, 4 at a time, of 4 in total, but 2 of each of them. Nice little wall attempt at the front as well. Has managed to wall off completely towards that top side. And we don't really see a play at Castle Age, but have a look at the amount of units he's got here. Going to be taking Myriad by surprise. I'm 100% certain of it. And just absolutely destroys this front. With a fight like this is where you just take all your villagers now and move them over onto gold. You have absolutely demolished this fight. The pressure that your opponent was once putting on is now gone out the window. Now we need to think about transitioning out of this. We want to try and get up to that castle age. Archer number's still looking good here. He can just fight these head on. This is absolutely fine. Ideally, you want to try and run these gilded horsemen past the spears, but it's not even going to matter. Beautiful little defense there. I gotta be honest, I didn't expect to see that many units coming out. Like, Myriad's been pumping. He hasn't really been putting that many resources into upgrades or farms. Like, he's only got the 3 farms back here now. I was gonna say 2, but it's gone up to 3 now. He's only got 3 farms back there and a couple of eco ups. I think we may have seen forestry up. No, forestry was on the other side. Dennis actually picked that one up. But yeah, this has been a really nice little hold from here. I don't even think he's realistically overextending at this point. Yeah, I think realistically from here, probably just needs to train a couple more horsemen, look to secure a bit of food out on the map. Let's take a look and see what his map profile looks like. So he's still got the deer in base. How much food has he got under the TC? Oh, yeah, okay. So farm transition needs to come in. Probably can't go up to castle just yet, unless he wanted to go take these berries or this deer. But even then, it's going to be a bit dangerous against the English, and you're probably better off just fighting it out in feudal for a little bit longer. Walls starting to come up at the front as well, over towards the west and down towards the south under attack. Look at these stupid little wolves. Can we get that petition already? Where is that petition to remove wolves from the game completely? Like, at this point, they're just useless. They're just annoying. We don't need them. They don't serve any purpose other than just making me upset that there's a sound in the game that sounds that annoying. But, well, I guess that's one reason. Anyway, Dennis is slowly... Dennis, I'm going to be honest. I don't know. Okay, the issue is this, okay? If you go castle and you also look to get this going on, which you're doing right now, I'm fearful that you're going to be a little bit too slow to get up to castle. That's what my fear is. So, we'll have to see how it plays out. He's looking pretty close as it is at the moment, and you can see already the returns coming in on this wall change. What did they change on the walls? They made it so that walls now take 8 seconds to build rather than 4 seconds. So this wall segment that's out here, instead of taking 32 seconds, now takes 64 seconds. And it means that these horsemen are now able to get through. And because of that, they can now get behind enemy lines. And they can now cause pain in the base of Myriad. And it now means that the enemy army is staying in the base longer, which buys more time for Dennis to now get up to the castle age. It means that that military is not looking to get out on the map. He's going to go for a quick wall here across the front. We'll be able to find it, but the Gilded Horseman going to get eaten alive here. He's trying his best to get out. He's just going to settle for a couple villager kills, and I think that's probably the best call at this stage. Honestly, if he can get a couple more Vil kills here, I think the best thing for him right now is just to keep these Gilded Horsemen alive. You don't want to lose the Gilded Horseman. You lose the Gilded Horseman, and all of a sudden your enemy says, okay, now I can push. So it's really important to keep this one alive. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. So now there's nothing stopping Myriad from pushing and looking to cause damage until he sees that the castle age is through. And now he's like, okay, Gilded Knights are now in play. Do I really want to go against Gilded Knights? It's probably better I just chill in my base. I just stay in my base, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. It looks like he's on the way to Castle Age himself, but I can't help but feel like Dennis is in a great position here. Interesting unit. Going into the Gilded Crossbowman of everything. To me, that is a head-scratcher. That is a big head-scratcher. What does the Gilded Crossbowman get? It gets a little bit of extra range. Does it have ranged armor that I'm forgetting about? Maybe? Perhaps? Is there a unique upgrade for the archer that is scale armor? Yeah, bro. Okay. You totally... I don't know, man. I kind of like the Order of the Dragon, and I like making archers, because you got to remember, these archers are kind of crazy, right? Like 1.25. But the fact that you get an extra 3 armor on top of, like, your already +2 armor, and then you get +3 armor here, this is insane, bro. Why aren't we just going full dragon scale armor? We should totally be doing that here. He's going to go into crossbows instead. So if we take a look at the crossbow, he did have a couple of them out already. I'm trying to find exactly where they are, because I know that he's got them somewhere. I just don't see them. Are they in the TC? I did see earlier he was putting units in the TC. They're not here. Sacred Site being taken. Oh, not being taken. Oh, this could be a painful decision. Does he look to cut this off? He could look to cut this off because he's exposed himself now. Gilded Archers out on the field. Going to find a couple Longbowmen. Prelate moving towards the south side. So he's looking to go very greedy with this Relic. So if I was him, after triggering this Sacred Site, I would go and hug the entirety of that top side of the map, right? Like, it's very dangerous to take this Relic and then just walk back directly as you came. Gilded Archer's going to get caught out of position, though. Gilded Crossbowman. He's up to 3 now. Here we are, in the base. Yeah, so no ranged armor on this. It's just a crossbowman that does a lot of damage. I mean, each to their own. I'm not going to hate. But I'm curious to see how it stacks up against the longbowman. I would assume the longbowman would absolutely destroy the Gilded Crossbow. What's the range on the Gilded Crossbow? Can we take a look? It's 6 tiles of range. So they're going to be able to meet them well in their fights. But we do see he's making the right call with regard to the Prelate. Prelate moving towards that top side. This one heading back directly as the crow flies, which is the correct way. But now a little bit of pressure on that north side, as we mentioned before. Coming out to expand here. He's done the right thing, dropping down the walls. Buys himself a little bit more time and has again done the right thing by moving out these Gilded Archers. So far, he's checking everything off the list when it comes to doing the right things. Obviously, he's a very good player. Conqueror 3+++. But longbow numbers starting to improve. Council Hall with the veterancy for longbowmen now on the way. Men-at-Arms have been upgraded to their Castle Age upgraded level. Palisade Gate slowly burning down, with the crossbowman together with the men-at-arms going to be moving out here. I don't think he's got enough bills on the Palisade Gate. If it does go down, he could be in a little bit of trouble. Ideally, you wanted to keep that alive, but they're just a couple seconds too late. Could have just brought another Vil to repair. The trouble that you're going to have now is that if your enemy moves all of their resources up here, I don't think that wall's going to come up in time. Let's have a look and see, though. All right, he's gone. Oh, this could be dangerous. This could be dangerous. Prelate's going to get caught out. He is camping up the other relics as well. Single longbowman out here. So that's the second one. First and second. Got another relic on the way through here. So he's got 2 relics in the bag. Hold on. Was this only a 4 relic? No, there's the 5th one. Thought it was only a 4 relic spawn for a second. Keep in mind, Myriad's got the ability to come pick these up. He does have monks on the field. 1 at the moment. The consequence of, I guess, going into the Gilded Crossbowmen. As I said, I don't know why he just didn't go into Gilded Knights or even just more Gilded Horsemen. Would have been absolutely amazing here. But we now start to see it is going to be Gilded Knights, Gilded Men-at-Arms, and more Gilded Crossbowmen going to be coming out. He is going to be able to chase this away, so we'll be able to secure up at least 4 of the 5 relics, as long as his Prelate is on the ball. I don't actually see where that Prelate is just yet. Hopefully coming out, he's actually just picked up the safe relic instead. Now those Gilded Men-at-Arms continue marching forward. The Gilded Knight also in the mix as well. I love that. Just that one single Gilded Knight is really, really nice to have in the mix. But you can see it is starting to cop quite a bit of damage here. Crossbow's also getting thrown in. Monk is there as well. Will get caught out. And Myriad rallying and more units here from the English side of the map. Now keep in mind, he did actually go with the King's Palace. So every second that this game goes on, the better it gets for Myriad. But remember that Dennis is going to be thinking about Imperial, and he should be thinking about it sooner rather than later. And he's doing the right thing. All Vils on food, with the exception of a couple for wood. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. 12 Vils on stone. Wow. So 12 Vils on stone says one thing to me. It says, I'm going to put a keep down. Where does he look to put this keep? I guess it's got to be on a secondary gold, right? Like, if we have a look inside the base, he's got no gold. Which is fine. This isn't a real issue because he is playing Order of the Dragon and he's got relics, and there's nothing wrong with just going, I don't even need to think about gold. But it does make sense though. It looks like that 4th relic did get, or that 5th relic rather, did get taken away by Myriad. So far, it's a pretty good battle that's unfolding between these two. They look very evenly matched in this game. Order of the Dragon definitely showing up quite surprisingly in the early feudal. I'm going to be honest, man. I love the way that they play. They're a scary civilization. You do have to give them a lot of respect. Archon Chapel has been nerfed. This is something that we need to consider throughout this game. This Archon is not as strong as it once used to be. The range on this Archon is significantly reduced. It used to be quite a bit more. So now, moving out on the map, you can see we've got 556 stone at the moment. The hard part is this is exactly where I would have wanted to put down a keep. I would have wanted a keep right here. And if you've got Myriad who's setting up a base defense here, and you can see that there's a lot of vills here, you and I both know exactly what the plan is for this position. This is a Berkshire if I've ever seen one. This is going to be a Berkshire that's hitting the base of my enemy. This is a great Berkshire. But there is a sneaky little gold vein over towards the edge of the map, which I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis decides to send a couple vills out towards that angle. We'll have to see exactly what the plan is for him. He's also got a couple gold veins down towards the south. Could look to go down towards gold on this position. This is also good. Secures the back gold. There's a lot of options open for him on this map with regard to gold. So it just depends exactly which way he's going to look to try and bite. Springald emplacement is through. Relic is inside with 10.8 tiles of range. Ain't nobody going to be messing around with that one, that is for sure. Now, keep in mind, the Springald did get changed, but the Springald emplacement did not. It is exactly the same as it used to be, but it looks like it is going to be this sneaky, sly little sacred site visit at the back here. 12 vills. Now, one thing to note is there is a men-at-arms here. We'll ride on board with Myriad. See exactly what Myriad sees, and he does spot the keep. He's now denying the sacred site. He's got no reason to look here until he checks. And you can see that he hasn't actually checked it yet. Now he has. Now he knows. He's done an attack move over here. Army's still chilling. He knows he can't get there in time. The keep is going to come up no matter what. So he's just trying to get a villager or two. Picks up the first one. No running from Dennis. And the keep comes online. He's just looking to deny the monk first. Definitely the right call. Now the men-at-arms. So now that the keep is online, now that the gold is secured, I would suspect we look for an Imperial Age here. If anything, Dennis wants to avoid fighting. And he just wants to go Imperial. And that is because his opponent has been on 2TC this whole time. And he needs to catch up. He needs to not just catch up, but he needs to surpass. And so by going into that Imperial Age, one of the things that I would be looking for is an outpost right here. Another outpost right where that farm is. Cannon emplacements. So I'd look to get a full wall across the front so they can't run you in. And then those cannon emplacements are really important. Try and get this relic out of this outpost. You can see he doesn't even have fortification on it yet. Wants to get a lot more stone in the bank. He's making a lot of units. This is a little bit concerning. When you're staying in Castle Age for this long, it can be really dangerous. Because we need to get that economy up to scale. We need to start hitting that 120, 130 vills. Even with Order of the Dragon, 130 vills is a requirement until it's not a requirement anymore. But now, Dennis continues putting away. Look at this. Just spending the resources like crazy. He knows that there's not really an opportunity for him to age up at this stage of the game. He knows he has to make units. And Dennis, now, trying his best to defend. No Lange connector here just yet. Horseman running around the backside. Able to head back in towards that bonus attack speed. And you can just see how overwhelming Dennis is on this defense. The only issue he's got is that the men-at-arms are all stuck fighting against the enemy men-at-arms. They want to be up on that good stuff at the back. But once again, Dennis has held absolutely perfectly. No real issue here. And this is another opportunity for him to send it. The question's going to be about whether he does, though. Still, that military count is absolutely perfect for him. Look at this, 69 versus 39. He's got no reason right now to go down here. He can just chill. Just chill. And that's what he's going to do for the moment. Question is whether he's going to stop making units, whether he's going to start thinking about Imperial. Let's check in on the other side and see how Myriad is doing, because everything is going well for Myriad so far. One thing to note, though, is that despite being 23 minutes into this game, almost 24 minutes into this game, almost completing 24 minutes in this game, we are yet to see a single piece of siege. We haven't seen a battering ram. Haven't seen a siege tower. No Springalds, no Mangonels, no Trebuchets. No Bombards, no Culverin, no Randy Reboldequins, no cannons, no nest of bees, no hand cannoneers yet either. I'm literally just listing all the siege. Have I missed anything? Oh, the traction trebuchet. Thank you. How could I forget the traction trebuchet of all things? Hui Hui Pow. We haven't seen the Hui Hui Pow. Haven't seen the organ gun. I'm just kidding. We don't have organ guns. The closest thing we've got to an organ gun is the Reboldequin. Can you imagine if they introduced the Portuguese and their unique unit or their unique siege is... It would be like a mangonel replacement and it would be the organ gun. And God, it would be beautiful. I remember in Age of Empires 3, have a look at that, by the way. Single outpost just denies everything. Don't you hate that? And look, this is just the reality. You know, we saw this a little bit earlier, and this is just the reality of when you go for stuff like this. You know, it could just be like, okay, I need to just remember to wall off this backside so I don't get zoned out by an outpost. That's exactly what happened. And speaking of exactly what happened, it looks like the Swabia is exactly what happened as the age up is now coming through for Dennis. Lovely to see it. Beautiful timing here as well. 25 minutes. Honestly, a bit late. I would have loved to have seen this around 18 minutes if we could have had that. In my mind, ideally, the way that it would have worked is he did that nice little feudal defense and then went straight to Castle Age, made a couple of knights, put the pressure on his enemy, secured the relics, and then just gone straight to Imp. That's, in my mind, that's the way it would have gone. The key here, though, is that you need to defend with those outposts, right? You need to defend with the outposts, with the bombard emplacements, and that didn't happen. Wingard Palace now going to be coming through on the other side. Myriad going to be looking to go into the Imperial Age with the Wingard, and at the front, oh, this is so aggressive. This is so dangerous, but I respect it. And that's what's important. As long as... It doesn't matter whether something's dangerous, all right? You can be driving at 400 miles an hour. It's about whether it gets you respect. It's really not. Please don't be doing that. That is a terrible life advice from Drongo right now. And don't be putting your Wingguards in the front. You're saving yourself 20 seconds of walking. But, mate, this is a very important landmark. Probably the most important one that you've built today. So... Let's keep this bad boy safe in the back, even though it is beautiful and we love seeing it out the front. Now, I want to be looking towards... I'm hoping that we see it. The Wingard Rangers. For anybody who missed it, ladies and gentlemen, there is something exciting to talk about. The Wingard Ranger has received a huge buff in this patch. It now has access to a new technology that increases its range by 2. In fact, all archers have their range increased by 2, but the Wingard Ranger is an archer. Culverin. That's a unique cannon replacement, if I remember correctly. So bonus damage. Oh my god, bonus damage versus buildings. Holy moly, look at the... Bro. Whoa. Jeez Louise. Look at the attack speed on this thing. So the Culverin's been changed. It's no longer the siege that it used to be. Elite crossbowman through, by the way. Culverin continuing to fire off. He's actually taking a fair bit of damage here on that back line. On the front, the veteran Gilded Horsemen are looking to try and tank it up. Not particularly good micro here, but on the backside, look at the elite crossbow. He's just got the number advantage right now is incredible for Dennis as he continues to push down this field. The bombard replacement, the Culverin. So he's not actually able to make any other... Where's the siege? Oh, Lord. Oh, I've taken too long. I've already taken too long. Sorry, boys. Springald is out. Not going to be able to do too much defending there on that front. And Myriad's in trouble. He might be up 35 villagers, but I tell you what, he's down a dream right now because Dennis is doing absolute miraculous stuff here. Where is that siege workshop? I'm sorry. There it is. Okay, so you can see he doesn't actually have access to the bombard here. The Culverin is a unique bombard for the civilizations that have access to it. So that's your Order of the Dragon. That's your Holy Roman Empire, your Abbasid, Ayyubids, maybe a couple of other little ones switched in there that I've forgotten about. Who else has got Culverin? You know, anyone who had a Culverin before and I would complain about in the late game, well, they've basically got a brand new unique unit. So that's what we're going to be looking out for. Keep comes down in the middle. Not the best keep here. It's only got 3.39k or 3.3k in the gold vein. So it's not a huge value keep, but it does somewhat secure this secondary gold vein. But, you know, we were talking about a little bit earlier about the fact that we didn't have a Wingard Palace. I was talking about the prospect of a Berkshire. Can you imagine had a Berkshire come here, how different this game would be right now? Dennis would not be able to have pushed through the way that he has right now. Right now, he's looking incredible. All right, numbers continuing to build for Myriad. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. The military advantage is significantly in favor of Dennis. And keep in mind, he does have Swabia behind, printing villages, and he also has stronger villages than the average bear. Gilded Horseman getting caught out. I'm going to take a quick swig of my drink. Give me a second here. The drink for this evening? Red Bull. It's 11:42 in the evening. But we had no choice. We had to do it. I went down to the shops and bought some Red Bull. I said, you know what? I'm going to do some casting tonight. We got to load up on stock, boys. And we did. I think I got 8 Red Bulls in the fridge at the moment. So I'm a happy camper. Obviously, don't drink them all at once. That is not responsible, and I'm not that thirsty. And even if I was that thirsty, I probably wouldn't be drinking 8 Red Bulls. Like, that's a silly amount of Red Bull. You'd probably want to have some water in there. Anyway, behind the scenes, have a look at this. We got... There's no way. There's no way. the timing on that would be perfect. Well, perfect for some. Meanwhile, towards the top side, he continues to push through. Stone wall's going to be rushed up here. He knows that it's a weak spot. Outpost, the only thing on the north side. So as long as he keeps this choke point safe, he'll be okay. But this right here is an absolute waste. We need to be focusing on the front here. This is where all of the attention needs to be going, because there's no way you're reinforcing this. Even if you got through here, how are you reinforcing this? Your enemy comes in, they kill you, and they laugh at you. You're not reinforcing that. Meanwhile, your reinforcements are actually getting picked off in the middle of the map. So it's one of those things where, bit of a mistake. Wingard ranges, 9 tiles of range, but just wait, there's more. I assure you, we've got more range today with the university and the brand new upgrade. It's silk bowstrings, increasing the archer's range by 2. It's a very cheap upgrade as well, only 800 resources. Trebuchet going to go down. Emergency walls, and you can see naturally the response from Dennis is to run back to his base to protect it, but he never would have had to have done this in the first place if he'd just been attacking the front. This is where I'm always about that macho man fight style. You know, punching each other in the face until one of you gives up. That's more my style. Culverin going to continue falling back here. Outpost is getting upgraded. Keep in mind there are... Has he got cannon emplacements in here at all? Is there... No, this is a Springald. He's just got the Culverin in the back. Oh, but he's coming in from behind. I don't think anybody could have predicted it. I'll be honest. I kind of saw it coming. But now looking to try and clean things up. Hand cannon numbers are kind of good here. He's also going to have reinforcements from that northern position. As long as he's rallying them in, that's going to be key here. Looking to try his best to clean up military numbers. Still pretty even Stevens at this stage as the Culverin continues firing off towards the troop on the back. Hand cannon numbers still looking good. And it looks like the Gilded Crossbowmen are going to be the last men standing here as the English ranged units are able to overpower the bonuses that come through from the Order of the Dragon. Now, what was it that drove them back? You might be wondering. And I'll give you the answer. It was this guy right here. This single-handedly allowed for this defense to happen. This outpost got up, and it meant that he was able to propagate network of castles, which is not just your 20% attack speed. No, I take it back. It is just 20% attack speed. But look, I will say that that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. And look, there was a lot contributing there. The hand cannoneers, the range and the wing guards. There was a lot. 9 tiles of range still. Oh, we now start to see upgrades. Oh my god, he's going for the Super Omega. Omega? Look at the upgrades. He's like, he's had a eureka moment. He's like, hold on a minute. If I get Gilded Archers, and then I can get Veteran Gilded Archers, and I can upgrade them to Elite Gilded Archers, and I get the Plate Cutter Point upgrade, and I get my Dragon Scale Armor, which gives me extra armor, and then I get the Bowstrings, where I get extra range on my Elite Gilded units, and he's like, he is Giga Brain right now. He has blown through the levels of brain the same way that... I'm just going to stop myself. Stop yourself right there, Drongo. You're ahead, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you don't have to bet every single time. You know, your wife is... And it's probably not your wife. It's probably your best friends. And you know, you're sitting at the roulette table, and you're like, yeah, put it all on black. And your friend's like... Yeah, it'll be black, and it's black, and they're like, double it. So then you say, put it all on black again, and you do it 4 times, and it's black, and like then you come into the 5th time, and it's got to be black this time as well, right? It was black 4 times before. It has to be black this time. It's the rules. And it was black, but you didn't bet because you got out because you were ahead, and that's the smart move. That's the smart move right there. But yeah, look, we're not all that smart. Keep here in the middle of the map. Town Center gets placed down here, looks to propagate out that emergency repairs, will have no trouble with it. Brings out the Wi-Fi here with him. Just needs to make sure he remembers to click the button. It can always be a little bit tough. I'd love to see him pick up some upgrades for this keep as well. Elite upgrades now coming through on the archers. Keep in mind, these guys are like quintuple upgraded at this point. Look at the armor on them. Look at the range on them. Starting to get scary. Shattering projectiles coming through for Myriad as well. There is an absolute myriad of upgrades on the way. I don't know. Did I use that correctly? Probably not. I don't know what died here. Must have been a chicken or something. Triple Culverin. So just see this as triple bombard, okay? This is a triple bombard right now. That's what you need to be thinking about. Double Trebs firing off. The keep did remember to do emergency repairs, and now the Gilded Horsemen towards the front side. Archers teeing off on the back. You can see how fast they're firing. Elite upgrades are through. These guys got their plate cutter point. They've got their extra tiles of range. They got everything under the sun going for them, except on the other side, we don't see those upgrades coming through just yet with that range. He's still going to fall back away from it, though. Curious decision. I feel like he could 100% challenge this, and that's exactly what he's got to do. So 6 ranged armor compared. How much are the longbows doing? Actually, he's only running Wingard ranges. They've got 14 range. Bombard's actually going down. Have a look at this. Focusing them down. Does a decent job, but now those archers, numbers are starting to look good. He's also moving into horsemen as well. Elite gilded horsemen, elite gilded archers. We are seeing the return of the trash. The trash is back, baby. Vils all get pulled to heal up this keep. Emergency repairs is back online. A little bit of a mistake from Dennis to not have a couple of Vils over there repairing at the very beginning anyway, but now Horseman able to run in behind. We can see he's got quite a few in queue at the moment, but on the backside, some decent damage coming in from these hand cannoneers. I'd love to see him pick them off, because remember that he's only got 4 tiles of range. Meanwhile, more upgrades coming through. Oh, incendiary arrows! Completely forgotten about incendiary arrows. He's about to get a very nice damage boost here. I think it'll work out to be probably +3 for him on these. So he's doing 13 damage. It's 20%, right? So, yeah, I reckon it's probably going to round up to +6 or to 16. Let's have a look and see. It could be 15, though. Well, you never know. All right, Damascus Steel is through, and there you go, +3. I was right. So now he's got the incendiary arrows off. An extra 3 damage onto every single one of those arrows, taking down those men-at-arms. They got 10 armor. Keep that in mind. So he's now, instead of doing 3 damage for every arrow, he's doing 6 damage, which is double the damage he was doing before. That's why I'm trying to write home about these upgrades, because they are scary good. We also see another unique upgrade coming through for the Order of the Dragon. It's going to be War Horses, where Gilded Knights take 25% less damage while they're charging. Very specific, oddly specific by the devs. Still hasn't been looked at, still hasn't been changed, and I'll be honest with you, if they changed it any more than that, I'd be a little bit scared. Looks like we've got our tier 3 gold gathering upgrade or mining upgrade compilation. Look at those big archer shots coming through now. It looks like we've got a couple of wolves on the backside as well, looking to cause a bit of havoc. 104 Vils here against 138. This is when the Order of the Dragon shine, baby. It's exactly where you want to be. The only thing is, you got to be making more Vils. You can't just be sitting on 104. You need to push that up. Those are rookie numbers. Ideally, I would like to see up to 130 Vils. Culverin now pushing forward. Very, very confident. You know, I would almost say a little bit too confident of the Culverin push-up right there. But the keep is held. That's what's important. The 2 trebs have rotated down a little bit here. They continue to maintain line of sight. But now, the keep is in a little bit of trouble. It's definitely going to be in a position to be pressured, but Dennis is running out of... I don't know if he's running out of pop space, or he's running out of... His wood numbers are dropping a little bit low. Needs to disperse the Vils more evenly on these wood lines. So, you know, 6 Vils over here, wood line, 6 Vils over here, and then drop that lumber camp right here. So he's got himself a little bit more friendlier wood gathering ability. Let's just put it that way. They're still carrying quite a bit in. Yeah, 21 in on each. So it's not particularly that bad. Yeah, we can start to see he's stacking up those resources quite a bit here. Military production-wise, if we take a look at Myriad's base, he's got a lot of production across this map right now. And that's going to mean that reinforcements are pretty easy for him. We can actually see he's got a slightly smaller army, but he is maxed out, and he's starting to stack it up. More upgrades on the way through. Looks like arrow volley going to be coming through. Have we picked up... We still haven't picked up our university upgrade yet. Silk bowstrings. He's got elite army tactics, though. I missed that one coming through. So he's got more melee armor. What is it, like an extra 6 melee armor or something silly? I think that's what it is, right? But, now looking to focus... Yeah, look at this beautiful micro here. Focusing down the hand cannoneers on the back. Remember, he's got the fast attack speed, but they're bugging out. They're not attacking as fast as they should. A little bit of an issue here. So these guys attack really fast. They're 1 attack every second, but you can see that there's something going on with them where they're not attacking every second. So I don't know exactly what the go is with that. Maybe it's because he's single targeting them down, but you can see how much faster they attack when you just kind of leave them. So yeah, a little bit of an issue right there. But Wingard Rangers still teeing off on the back. No upgrade just yet for him. I'm still waiting for Myriad to realize, hold on, I can get 11 range Wingards in here. I dare not consider it. Men-at-Arms now going to be breaking through towards the north side. The consequence of putting out these farms in no man's land is that when the Men-at-Arms arrive in no man's land, it no longer is no man's land and becomes their land. And that's not land that you like to inhabit your farms with. There was really nothing wrong with right here. You know, nice little stone wall across the back and all your farms were perfectly safe. So, yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. It's just one of those things where we put the farms down because our villagers are the closest to that position. But Stonewall is going to get rushed up. He should be fine. Manages to get all the vills behind. But he's down 40 vills at this point. And you might look at that and think, that's fine, Drongo. He's okay to be down 40 vills. He's Order of the Dragon. The reality is it's not, because all the population space is the same. And this just means Myriad has now got more resources every minute to sacrifice towards this constant grind. We're 40 minutes into this game right now. And the truth is that Myriad can just keep pumping. Like, have a look at the difference between these two, okay? You've got 3K, 5K, 6.6K, 7K. Over on the other side, 2.5K, 4K, 5.2K. So you've still got a 2K difference between these two guys. That's despite the Relic difference. That's despite the Order of the Dragon difference. So it's really, really important. Even if you're playing Order of the Dragon, you still need to max out vills. And I think only now is Dennis realizing that and going, shit, I've made a mistake. I needed to max my vills sooner. Archers are going to continue pushing forward here. He's got 25 archers, 4 hand cannoneers, and a whole bunch. One thing to note, though, we haven't seen any mangoes. We haven't seen any sprinkles. Where is the siege? You know, the Black Eyed Peas asked that question back in 1999. I'm still trying to... no, that was Where's the Love? Oh, it's kind of close. Where's the siege? Where's the love? It's similar songs. Look, I'm still trying to find the answer to that question. We do see a battering ram coming out. And I mean, we have had Trebs, which are kind of technically siege, right? But it's not the exciting stuff that we like to see. Oh, poor Trebuchet. Myriad looking like he might be in a bit of trouble here, but the thing is, this is playing exactly into what Myriad wants here. Dennis is... There's the battering ram. Dennis is being menaced by Myriad right now. Couple archers out here trying to deal with this threat. We do see that he has picked up Court Architects, a little bit of extra... Is it Court Architects? I want to double check and make sure that it's actually Court Architects. It's not Court Architects. It's probably the unique Keep Tech. The one that sits right there. I've forgotten the name. You'll forgive me, right? The unique Order of the Dragon Keep Tech that increases wall HP. Actually, no, that's fire armor. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So at this stage, I mean, I don't know how Dennis really plays this out because he's down on pop. I mean, Myriad's got a fair amount of units in the bank though as well, but the numbers are looking good. And the fact that he's got this little side thing, this is really pushing for him as well. But it feels like the bulk, like the one thing that I feel is missing right now for Dennis is just like mixing in a couple of Lange Connect here and there because you get so much value out of them. But oh no, the Wing Guards, are they online? They're not even online yet. No, wait, they are. He's got the bowstring upgrade. He's got it. They've got 11 tiles. Look at the range on these things. Dude, look at the range on them. Dude, they're firing across the whole map. This guy's inside his base. He's getting sniped. He's sniping him into the next game at this stage. Treb's looking to try and take down the keep. Do manage to get some good damage on it, but the Wing Guards have got it. Who needs Culverin? Who needs Springles when you've got Wing Guards? The secret English counter to all siege. It is going to be the Wing Guards, the reverse on the top side. Elite Gilded Archers with only 7.5 tiles of range. These poor, pathetic Gilded Archers compared to the Wing Guard with 11 tiles of range, dude. Does he have the upgrade? He's got the upgrade, right? Incendiary arrows. He's got a little bit of bonus damage here against the archery rangers, but it's still not going to be a whole lot. Absolutely insane amount of range that he's got on these units. This is crazy. And remember, these are tracking units, right? Like these are drone strike or hit scan units. Like they don't miss. They do not miss. Behind the scenes, a little bit of attacks coming in. Hand Cannoneers not going to be able to find too much. Keep still slowly attacking down this outpost. I can't believe he hasn't sent a battering ram into it. And still stuck. You can see right now it's just a matter of production, right? Like he's sitting there. He's only got Hand Cannoneers in queue. He doesn't know how to deal with the Wingard Ranger. He doesn't know what to do. He can't make mangonels against him. How do you make a mangonel against this unit? The mangonel's got like 7 tiles of range or something silly, doesn't it? 8 tiles of range? These things are going to snipe it out before it even gets to breathe its first wooden breath. Poor things. Now continuing to fall back. The Hand Cannoneer numbers do rise. Archers are here as well. He's going to start moving into Gilded Horsemen. which could be the way, but keep in mind these guys do have their palings. They've also got the option to do that super duper fast, speedy attack. Gilded Horsemen now going to make their way out. I can't help but feel like he's going a little bit early here. Should have waited for the Horseman numbers to rise. He's just getting blitzed. Look at the amount of damage coming out from these units. I thought we were highlighting the elite Gilded Archer. He'd had that big brain moment, but it never mattered in the end because Myriad, with the English brain the size of a watermelon inside the head of a walnut, you just got to ask yourself, how does he do it? Beautiful stuff. Lovely micro as well coming out here today. And that sacred site, well, it's now starting to get captured. And you know what that means. He's looking to put the win condition into this one. Dennis still on a decent economy at this stage, but he is getting walled out. And I do suspect we may have potential for trade coming through. I think that Myriad recognizes the option or the opportunity for his opponent to go into it and just says, you know what, we want to make sure these stay nice and safe. Just looking to dot his I's and cross his T's at this stage of the game. A really solid performance here. Just constantly spamming out these rangers. You can see at the moment, 15, 17 Gilded Archers compared to his opponent with 20 Wingard Rangers. Only the single longbow as well. So just every bit of archer that he wants, he's getting out of the Wingard Ranger. And I think that's why this landmark is going to be incredible now with this single change. Like the bowstring change just makes these probably the best late game, or some of the best game units. I think the other big thing to remember is that, like, with the siege change as well, like, how do you even deal with this? Is it just, like, is the answer just 100 men at arms and you just run them down? I think that might be the answer. But then you stick them on a wall and now they can't get through. But then I guess you make battering rams to kill the walls. I don't know. We're going to have to work it out. We're going to have to sort it out. 13 tiles of range when they're on walls, 11 tiles of range when they're not. Men at arms. Mango's firing off. I don't know whether he's picked up the upgrade just yet. We'll take a look and see. It looks like he's got it in the queue, adjustable crossbars. More and more teeing off towards the back. Horsemen together with the men at arms. He's looking to try and break through that front. Mango gets a shot off. Comes down on top of this backline, but still the numbers are strikingly good for Myriad. Only does a little bit of damage to that Wingard. It doesn't even die in the fight. Now he's, look at this. Who needs cover and who needs Springles when you have got the Wingard Rangers? Continues to fall back away from this. He's now cleaned up this position over on the west side of the map. And with that, 3 sacred... Look at the Mango. Look at the Mango. Look at the Mango. We can't get any shots off. He gets off a single shot before it goes down. The Wingard Rangers just pick it off way too quickly. It is a sad state of affairs to be a siege engine in Season 9, ladies and gentlemen. You asked for it. You got it. Now they're absolutely relegated to the D tier. Poor Dennis the Menace. Adjustable crossbars are now coming in, but I tell you what, there's a part of me that thinks maybe they should get a little bit of range as well. I mean, when you're up against 11 range, you know, American sniper, how do you deal with it? I mean, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I'm not going to count my chickens before my eggs hatch, but he pops the strings. Now firing faster, shooting smarter, and he's just been cleaned up completely. Dennis is looking good all of a sudden. Sacred victory is approaching. What's Dennis going to do? How's he got... Oh, Lord. Elite Horsemen now going to be coming out. These guys still yet to get their elite or their biology upgrade. But able to clean up this backline. Numbers still looking good. More Wingard Rangers starting to build. He's got more in queue. He's got 2 sets of them in queue. 9 on the field at the moment. And more units rally towards the front. 160 versus 193 pop. All 3 sacred sites taken, held. These keeps now looking strong. Resources starting to run out for Dennis. Where does he go if he wants wood? He's exhausted everything on this top side. He's got a couple of straggler trees out here. On the south side, or rather east side, his enemies completely isolated him off that position. And now he looks to continue funneling units down the middle. Keep in mind that Myriad is starting to build up a really nice stack of eco behind this. Still maxed out. Dennis is starting to fall. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The game is called with Myriad coming out victorious in an absolutely insane game against Dennis. Fellas, incredible stuff there. But I'm going to be honest, these Wingards look pretty crazy. I think I might be an English main again. That was some pretty cool shit. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.